everyone, welcome back to Movie Baker Journey. Today we will be talking about something different than usual.
We know the pain of the production. You're a small company, you're a one-man band. You're not just shooting, but you're also your accountant, the marketing department, the gear tech, and sometimes even your legal department.
So today we would like to share with you some of the tips. One of the first point is Administrative Tools, which is pain in my...
One tip is to create reusable templates for contract, invoice, and quotes. Because every time you reinvent the wheel, it's better to have some templates that you're going to reuse, and this way you are going to look more consistent and you're going to save a lot of time.
From my perspective, it's very, very good to have this agreement before, and you are proposing your agreement pool to the client before he will make it. Why? You don't need to analyze it and search for the tricks.
This leads us to the second point. Learn the basic of accounting and taxes, because it's boring, but it saves a lot of money and time in the long run. Even the basic understanding helps you to make better decisions when you are doing expenses, or when you're making your price, or when you're making investment. It also means that you're not going to get surprises like tax evasion when the tax seasons arrives.
When you're taking the money from your company, you can make it in a different ways. At the beginning, for you, it's the same, or eventually it's only like, okay, I will choose what is the best one from tax perspective, so where I have the lowest percentages. But after a years, you can notice that, for example, you cannot make a credit from the back.
So if you need to take some equipment in leasing, or you need to participate even to some grants, you cannot participate because your credit score is very low.
Outsource accounting, insurance, and legal work if you can afford. In a previous point, we said that you're supposed to know the taxes and legal things after. You will notice that more or less you know everything, then you're supposed to, of course, give it to someone else.
Yes, because the time you are using to take care of your taxes is time that you are taking away from your creative job, and time is limited. So when you can, the moment you can, outsource it, because the professional will do the boring part for you. Of course, you always need to supervise it, you always need to double check.
Online, you have multiple different tools for accounting for your company, and yeah, do it, because it's not that you cannot do it. You can, but you will lose a lot of time.
Apply for grants and public competition. You will probably not win, but during the process, you will practice in budgeting, in writing proposal, in structuring your business idea, which will make you more competitive in the long run, because you understand what are the requirements for bigger process and what are the requirements for bigger projects, and also how to explain your idea to a commission, which is important, especially when you're going to work with big clients.
Yeah, when you are growing and climbing on the ladder, and you are doing constantly bigger jobs and so on, it's very important to understand how to apply for those grants and collect documents. Because every single tender, it more or less is the same. Yeah. So after all, you will notice what you need and how much time you need to get it from your, for example, city hall, or tax department.
Marketing and promotion. Building relationship with the right people can lead you to referrals and collaborations that no cold emailing or other online strategy can match.
The next point, participate in industry events, like for example, there is a 48-hour sprint project. What you can do, you can construct the new crew, you can meet a lot of people which they are working in the industry. There is one tip from me, you need to have something to talk about it. You need to have a portfolio with you. You need to have the projects which they are standing behind you. You need to show something, because no one wants to talk with you if you are not prepared.
Take pro bono projects with purpose. Sometimes strategic free work can fill the gap in your portfolio or open doors to paid work. If you just take randomly free jobs, you are just wasting your time. But if you take pro bono project for non-profit organizations, you're doing it with a purpose, so your job is going to be helpful for someone, but at the same time is going to connect you with other members of the crew and also with new clients, and you can also fill your portfolio with this new style of video that probably you didn't do before. One very important thing, when you're doing a pro bono or a free project, always do your best. Don't treat it like a second level job. Always be professional, always treat it like it's a paid job, because when this can make the difference between you creating new connections or never be called again by the clients.
Work on your communication skills. If you are a shy person, if you don't know how to talk with other people, then even if you will go with the very good portfolio somewhere, you will have a problem. Because those people, actors, directors, are mostly hard characters. And this is important to know how to talk with them. So my tip for you is that act like you know what you're doing and you are not sitting in the corner waiting when someone will talk to you, but you need to force to make it.
Time and energy management. Schedule regular breaks. Rest keeps your creative thinking sharp and helps you to avoid burnout and on long production days. Also remember to drink.
Water?
Drink.
Block time for your creative work. What does it mean? It means that if you need to make, for example, a scenario, even for the corporate video, you need to focus only on it. Otherwise, it's pointless. Don't use any kind of AI. Do it by yourself, but focus on it. Yeah. So it means that block your social media, even turn off your phone. Don't answer for the stupid question from your colleagues about, I don't know, any different kind of activities, but do it. So block your time for creativity.
Delegate low-value tasks when possible. Sometimes we are afraid of delegating jobs. There are some tasks that are very hard to screw up. I don't know, fill out an Excel file or do a basic editing of a video. You can easily delegate it, and then you can just do a review at the end, and you're going to save half a day that you can dedicate to something more important. For example, talk with your client about the next project. So try to give value to your time.
80% is enough. So when you're doing something and you cannot make it better or you don't have the time, go to 80%. It's enough. Most of the time, it's enough.
Customer is never going to notice in the autofocus frame or the small glitch in the audio. Don't overfocus. Try to have a wide angle on the project.
Don't follow YouTube gear trends. A lot of people are trying to sell things on YouTube because the companies are paying them to do that. And then you are watching those videos on YouTube and then you are trying to copy them to buy the new camera. Don't follow all of those videos like, this is the game changer, you need to buy it. People are doing it, unfortunately. And then they're just losing money. And
yeah, they will notice, oh, the new random brand camera version 7 is not much better than the version 6. But I spent 4,000 euros on it. So don't really chase the last trend. Many of the new things that they're adding in cameras especially are gimmicks. They're not really useful in the real world. Invest in your main camera and lenses and then rent the rest. Buy a good camera. If you're doing video, buy a video camera. If you're doing photos, buy a photo camera. If you're doing both, try to buy the best hybrid and invest in lenses. Gear is very expensive. Don't spend too much money in gimbals, lights, or other things that you're going to use not so often. You can rent them, and it's much cheaper to rent them, and the advantages is that you can try something new every time you need, and you don't need to take care of the maintenance. If they're old, the rental house is going to sell them a rebuy, and you're going to use new equipment all the time, reliable. If there is a problem, the rental is going to take care of it. Rent is cheaper than you think, and you can also test new gear for new shootings, and you need to immobilize a lot of money in equipment that you're not going to use often.
Learn your current gear, which you have, inside out. And what it means? It means that when you have a camera, you need to learn about the camera from the point A to the end of an alphabet. Because the camera and the lens is not only iris, ISO, and this kind of stuff. It has so many buttons and so many options that you're supposed to know each of them. Otherwise, you're not using the camera in 100. Means that there will be a point when you will say, oh, my camera is limited, and so I need to buy a new one. No, most of the time, it's opposite. You are buying the new camera because you don't know your own camera.
Maybe a suggestion could be read the manual. It's something that I notice people are not doing anymore. Every time you buy something, there is this small book with instructions that is describing every single feature of the device. If you're buying a camera, there are all the features there. It even explains you how to use them, which is crazy. SSD instead of HD, solid-state drive instead of hard disk. They are faster, they are more reliable, they consume less energy, they can resist on drops, and in the long run they're cheaper. Why they're cheaper? They cost more. They're cheaper because you save time. Sometimes when you're copying 1 terabyte of data, you can choose or to copy it in 2 hours or to copy it in 9 hours. So it's a lot of hours in saving. And
another point is to keep a clear folder structure and file naming convention. If you will go even to the Netflix page, and they are saying if you are making something for Netflix, use this exactly a structure of your files, because in a half a year you will not remember what it means about your folder. And at the beginning, of course, it's funny because you can change the name of your folder from the cup to cup 1, cup 2, cup 3. But then it stopped being fun when you need to find something and then you have 25 terabytes of data and you cannot do anything with it.
Speaking of data, have a backup policy. Backup sounds expensive, sounds boring, but it's going to save your ass one day. When you're doing a shooting, make 2 copies, 2 separate copies in 2 separate disks, and keep 1 disk in storage for the future and 1 disk for the editing, for all the operations, for at least 6 months. In our case, our policy is 2 years, because one day the client is going to come back and is going to ask you for the final export of that project of 2 years ago. That was in their disk that you just formatted.
Learn your editing software and use templates. Your editing tool, you need to learn it. You need to know everything what is inside. Use templates. Make your own templates, because when you will check what kind of a video you did last year, you will notice that they are very similar to each other, and you can make some templates for it.
Avoid overcomplicated corporate tools. Tools like Slack, Gira, or Asana are overcomplicated for our environment. Especially if you are a team with 2 people, 3 people, you don't need this kind of tools. They're just going to generate a lot of noise and you're going to waste a lot of time in learn how to use them to communicate in a way that it's not designed for it. They are designed for big corporations with hundreds of employees that are working on 10 projects at the same time. They're not designed for small teams. Of course, on YouTube, every productivity tool, every productivity video is going to push this kind of tools. Learn this, learn that. Don't. Keep it simple. Be ready to say no. And don't be afraid to say yo. Sometimes you're going to be contacted by a client who is going to promise you hundreds of new projects if you're going to do this project for free or for very cheap. It's a trap. This client is never going to call you back, is never going to give you these 100 jobs. You're going to waste your time. The client is going to spoil you, is going to take a video, is going to take advantage of you. And you're not going to earn as much as you are supposed to.
Then, when he seriously will have a bigger jobs with much bigger budgets, then he will go to the company which is bigger. So it means that if someone is trying to push you in a way to make it cheaper, don't. It's much better to try to keep, for example, the same amount of money, but to propose agreement right now for the future, for 10 videos or something like that, and then based on that, I can make you the discount for the next videos, but not for this one. Maintain a gear list with serials and purchase date. So if you have a new gear, doesn't matter, laptop, camera, lenses and so on, all of them, they have numbers. Collect those numbers in Google Drive, Excel, doesn't matter what you are using, but collect it, because if you will lose it, it's not enough that you will put your name on a sticker and then on the start, because if someone wants to steal it, he will just take it out. You need to collect all of those numbers, which they are serial numbers and insurance numbers and so on, in one place, because you are buying very, very expensive stuff and everyone wants to steal it. Not everyone, because we don't want
to steal your stuff. Yeah. Create an equipment list before and check it after the shooting. This will save you from a lot of problems in the future, because if you have a list of what equipment are you bringing with you, with all the serial numbers, how many pieces of each equipment you're bringing, after the shooting it's very easy to take this list and check which gear is back, which gear is not.
Book locations early and have a backup. Locations for your videos are one of the most important parts, so you need to book them a long time before you are shooting. This is at first. But the second, always you need to have a backup, because even if you have an agreement, but sometimes something will happen and then the whole production which you made is going to the trash. So it's much better to have a backup, even with your friends, even your own apartment, something which you will be prepared that if we need to go from somewhere, then you're going to the second location.
Work with trusted people and keep them happy. Don't try to underpay them, don't respect their skills, don't respect their time. If you're going to treat them well, they're going to treat you well as well. Which means that if for some reason you cannot pay them in time, or for some project you need a big favor from them and accept a lower rate than usual, if they're happy, they're going to do their best to make you happy. So they're going to be as professional as possible and you're going to get the best of their skills.
Build a stockmatic storyboard from your stock footages. If you're making your project, doesn't matter what it is, a music video, small advertisement, a huge advertisement, of course, the best thing is to make the storyboard, to plan everything, etc. But sometimes, especially when you're alone or 2 or 3 people in a team, you cannot spend time to make your own storyboard because maybe even you don't have the skills to make it in a proper way. What you can do is to prepare a stockmatic video. So you are taking the footages from the stock and you're preparing it as a video for the client to show him. The video more or less will look like that. But it's not only for the client, it's also for you, because then you are going with that video for the shooting days, and you know that, for example, this shot will be around 2-3 seconds, so you don't need to spend time to prepare the whole scene, because at the end you are taking just 2-3 seconds.
And also you are not fixing it in post, so you're going to save a lot of time in post-production. You just need to replace the stock footage with your footage and you have 80% of the editing done.
This is the end of our list of the points, and I think that we can construct even the second one, the third one. What do you think about those points? So comment it, and maybe you would like to add something, and maybe we will record in the future in the different episodes, and when we are focusing only on one of those things. So let's keep in touch. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we will see to each other in week 5. Thank you for watching us. Bye.